right, so welcome back to the channel, guys. It is me, 8744. So today, guys, we're gonna be doing our live stream for the Champions League reaction. Let's see how many people join. Hopefully, we can get a good audience to join. And yeah, we're gonna go ahead and get started, man. We're gonna go ahead and get started. So let me read some of you guys' comments. Um, let's read. Actually, before we get on with that, let's give our thoughts on the new format. Just keep it briefly, because just talk about that real quick. So now that the first match day is done, how do you feel about the new format, Doodle?
Honestly, I'll say this: it was a bit weird, especially like Thursday games, Champions League. That was very very weird watching it.
It's just for today. It's just for today.
Yeah, obviously just for today. Still, obviously, I know. But like overall, I just think that it was a bit weird because like how I just feel like the thing is I just think that all I'll say is like the thing is like when you like watch like group stages, like when you used to watch group stages, you kind of had an eye on like both games. Obviously, depending because like it's always interesting to see how the table is, how the current tables are, how it ends up to match day. But here it's kind of like you don't really have to worry about that because it's just there's not really a table, right? It's just kind of like a league. It's just teams just going at it and just to see whoever picks up the 3 points. But honestly, personally, I'm still not a big fan of this format. Like I get some of the things like positive side, but I'm still used to the old format. I think it's gonna take me a bit of a while to get used to this new format. So I think it's still weird. But I mean, honestly, overall, like I don't really have like I don't have like too many thoughts about it. But I think that it could be. I mean, we just have to. I think we still need to see like all the 8 match days go. And I would just honestly, I think before we make like a complete judgment and a conclusion about this format, I think we just need to wait like this whole season to end, and then we can probably give a much more fair assessment about it.
Yeah, I mean, the thing is like, it's just like this in general with life, is that you don't like to change. You just don't like to change.
There's a saying, don't fix what's not broken. There's that saying. So like that's the thing.
Yeah.
That's how I feel.
There are things I like about this new format though, because at first when I heard this new format, I was super against it. I was completely against it. I was like, bro, this is so garbage. I was actually about boycotting it when I first heard it. But when I actually saw it through, because if we're keeping it real, Doodle, the Champions League group stage has been rather forgettable. It's been rather boring.
Honestly, yeah, and I think it's, to be honest, like maybe this might sound funny. Like the thing is, I had some experiences with this new format even before it came out because I play Football Manager
on FM.
It's on FM because of that. So I kind of had like an idea of how it worked. It didn't like take me a while to get used to how it worked. That being said, though, I can see why people were skeptical about it because if you read like how it works, it probably would have been confusing. Now I do get more how it is, like how it works. And I do think that group stages, they can be forgettable unless there's like some big shock happening, right? Unless a team that is expected to compete for the Champions League gets grouped, like until those kind of things. It just, the thing of it is, I think, is that we're so used to it. But here's what I want to say to people. A lot of people forget this, but before like this last format wasn't even like the first format in Champions League, and not even like when it became a Champions League. It was actually there used to be like 2 group stages. There's like the first group stage, then there was the second group stage, then it was like quarterfinals, then semifinals, and then the final. That's how it was. And then they obviously changed it to the previous format. So there is a big chance that people maybe didn't like that change at that time, but then obviously got used to it. So maybe as many years go by, maybe we're gonna be more accepting towards this format. We don't know. It's just obviously these are initial opinions, but that's just one thing to keep in mind.
Yeah, and like I said, there's no point in complaining about this and everything because at the end of the day, the format's going to stay. We're not going to.
I mean, at the end of the day, like the main part, the knockout stage, they're just the same.
Oh, at least that didn't get changed.
Yeah, I can see why the people. My biggest concern though about it is that obviously, like it's 2 games. Like I get that it's 2 extra games. Maybe it does not sound that bad. It's just, and then obviously playoffs, but like obviously it's just the way overall. How there's more and more games, especially the new Club World Cup. That's what I don't like. Like it's just going to be additional more games, and it's just going to affect players badly. And that's probably the biggest concern I have with it. But that's not solely down to the Champions League or the Europa League or the Conference League. It's everything really, how FIFA and UEFA are operating. But that's obviously a story for another day. But I think overall, I just think that, again, I can see why people don't like it. Again, I'm not the biggest fan of it right now. I just think that I need like for this whole season to end, and then I can probably give it a. Because I think at this point, it is what it is, right? You can't change it. So at this point, you just need to get used to it. That's just how it is.
So I'm gonna put a poll out there in the chat so you guys can check it out. We're gonna go to where I'm not gonna go read your comments right now. We're gonna get to the games, but we'll read your guys' comments. And yeah, so we're gonna go ahead and get. And by the way, guys, when we do our game review, we're not gonna go into detail because that's gonna take too much time. We have 18 games. I'm not going to. We're not going to do. We're going to be here for hours and hours. Okay, and I have a life.
Yeah, we're just going to give quick thoughts about everything. That's
quick thoughts. So don't expect detailed analysis or anything like that. And anything. So it's not me being mean or anything. It's just how it is.
Yeah, there's just so many games to go through. We're just gonna give brief thoughts about
I'm gonna put this into timestamp. So I'm gonna separate this by 3 days. So Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. So We'll start with the Tuesday games first. So Tuesday games, man. We got the first game we got here is Juventus 3, PSV 1. I mean, what does there say, man? Juventus looks amazing.
I mean, look, Motorball is cooking right now for Juve, as much as I hate to say it, but like I watched this game, they were pretty dominant in this game. Not really much else to say. I think they just outclassed PSV. That's all I can really say. It's just not really much. It was like a classic home game performance, right? It's just pretty comfortable overall and just saw the game through, really. That's just how it was, really. Not really much. It's just, and we still need to see this Juve team, how it does throughout the season. Obviously, that's like the thing, because they're doing this motor experiment. But the initial thought is like, obviously, they just controlled the game well. They were much better than PSV, and ultimately they got the 3 points and how they needed, and that's basically how it was.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, I'm not really much to say.
I just think it was like a classic home game performance. You would just control the game from the get-go. They were just dominant from the get-go, and the PSV just could never really get it going. That was pretty much how it was.
Okay, this might be a reactionary take, but you know Serie A very well, so you're probably the best person to ask. Is this the best Juventus team on paper since 18 and 19 Juventus team?
Probably not. Especially because of Cristiano Ronaldo, probably not. But again, the thing is, I think it's a bit too early to say because we still need to see how Juventus does overall this season.
Yeah, that's true. That's why I said it might be a bit reactionary.
Yeah, I just think we still need to see a lot because there's a small sample size so far with this.
But I will say Juve midfield looks really good. I would say Kool
Myers. They did fix that though because that was their biggest problem for many years. That's that.
Yeah. So for Juventus, man, my only concern with Juve though is I still don't know if I can trust Vlahovic. I still don't know if I can trust him.
The thing is, and again, there's like Dusan Vlahovic. I mean, he's inconsistent. Even you fans say like there are games. If he's having a good game, he can be a good striker. If he's having good, but if he's having a bad game, it's basically like they're basically carrying a body. It's just 10 men in a body because Vlahovic, if he's having a really bad game, he's not going to impact the game at all. That's the biggest concern. You fans have been saying it ever since he joined them. He's just never had this consistent run. There's always like. 1 month he's great, next month he's not, he's disappearing. And it's always that. It's that, that can probably hurt them because he's a confident striker. He relies on being confident. If he's not confident, he's not going to affect the game much. And I think that ultimately and overall, like that's the ultimate problem that they might have is how reliable will Dusan Vlahovic be for the full season? That has been their questions ever since he joined them.
Oh yeah, for sure. And as for PSV, I'll quickly touch upon them. Peter Bosz, man, you're an idiot. I'm sorry. I know you guys play this high offensive style and everything, but my goodness me, the goals you guys can see were shamble goals you can see.
You can't do that away against Italian teams, especially because Italian teams, like maybe this is like we're gonna get to one that probably does not fit this bill, but Italian teams, if you play an open game against Italian teams, you're basically just inviting them because they can like set up a mid block and they can counter you and they can punish you if you do it. And I think PSV away from home, if this was a home game, I would understand why they would go for that.
Oh yeah.
But if it's an away game, you just need to like keep it tight in an away game. That's always what it is. You gotta keep it tight, and then maybe you can nick a goal or two, and maybe then. But you gotta like keep the team, especially like, if PSV it's match day 1. You're playing away. If you get a point, that's not bad. Away against Juventus, match day 1, a point, that's not bad. That's not a bad start. But now you lost 3-1, like, and could have been worse. Now it gets harder. Now it gets tougher. So I think they shouldn't have done it. I think they risked too much, in my opinion. I think they should have just kept it tight, frustrated Juventus, because Juventus aren't like some dynamic, high-scoring team. They haven't been for long years, for many long years. I get that Mota obviously plays a much more offensive style than Allegri did, but Juve have never been like this kind of a machine that just scores bang, 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 so many goals. They've made their and Mota's football at Bologna last season was about structure. It was a structural play, and they got goals when they needed, and that's kind of how Juve is probably going to be. So letting Juventus just have that much room to work with, you're just kind of letting them just basically score on. That was just stupid, I think.
Yeah, Juventus, man. Shout out to them, though. Shout out to them. So
it's been a good start for them, but as I said, small sample size. We got to see how this goes in Serie A. We got to see how it goes in Champions League before we make.
Because I think Juventus next game, I believe, is Napoli. That's been a good game. We've seen how good Napoli is so far.
Yeah. That's it. And they're playing at home, and they're generally good against Napoli at home. If this is a away game, then I would say they lose because Juve last 5 games away in Naples, they lost all of them. So, but they're at home, so I think they probably will get a win.
Yeah, and as for PSV, just defend your league title. After what I saw with Feyenoord, we'll get to that.
If you're going to go to these games, just enjoy it, and that's it.
Yeah. Well, because what I saw with Feyenoord, we'll get on to them a bit later. They better win the league. They better win the league.
Yeah. Oh my God. Yeah.
Yeah. Anyways, we're going to move to the next one. By the way, guys, for my members out there, guys, if you're a YouTube member, I'm going to do next week, I'm going to do my power rankings for the 10 teams of the Champions League that I think could realistically win. So that'll be a big one next week. It's only going to be for members. Okay. So if you're a member out there, check it out, guys. Only $1 per month. I'll be dropping it next week. So yeah, next up it is Young Boys with Aston Villa, man. Young Boys, man. I mean, this is disgraceful.
Yeah, it's just here's my problem with this format, though. One thing is that it depends. Like, there's going to be a lot of games with like this. I feel like, especially like these, I don't want to call them small teams, but especially weaker teams. I'll just say I feel like obviously that was also a thing in group stage. To be fair, but when it's like this is the thing, right? When the computer does the draws, that's the thing. But like Aston Villa, I'm not trying to take any credit away from Aston Villa. This is they've returned to the Champions League. When was the last time they even played there? I don't even remember. But obviously that's credit to them. I still don't think Aston Villa are like, I don't know if they're gonna. I don't think they're gonna make top 8, right? That's obviously not gonna happen, right? They're not gonna make top 8 of the Champions League. I don't think so. That's not gonna happen. 100% not. Now, can they go through the qualifiers? Maybe. The thing with Aston Villa is Unai Emery is managing them, and we all know that guy has pedigree in Europe. We all know his pedigree in Europe. But I think that Young Boys at home 3-0, I get to Aston Villa, but I think if you're this kind of a team, you gotta make the best out of your home matches to at least have a chance at qualifying. To at least have a chance. If you do this at home, it's not gonna happen. It's not gonna work. Done.
And I'm sorry to say, that second goal by Young Boys they conceded was an absolute disgrace.
I watched that second goal. I was like, that is something like you can put me and you can put me and myself and yourself there, and we probably would have done better there. That's just like the way they conceded that. Like you can put people from this chat in there, and they probably wouldn't have conceded that kind of goal. I don't know. That is amateur foot, not even amateur. Like that is like even in a school, if you do that, that literally would get called out for it. That was just so bad. That was such bad.
Yeah. Young Boys, man. Thanks for coming. You guys have no chance.
Yeah, I think this is out, right? And now they probably should hope they don't go 0-0-8.
As for Villa, man, Villa could be doing something in the Champions League, guys. They have Unai Emery. We know how good Unai Emery is.
That's the thing. Unai Emery in Europe. That's the thing. You don't want to. They could be a dark horse. You never know. Now, I'm not gonna say. I'm not saying they're gonna make top 8. That's not gonna happen. But don't sleep on them. Again, Unai Emery in European matches. He can do something. He can come things.
The guy won 2. He won 3 Europa Leagues, right? 2.
Right. He made the semifinals with Villarreal. Remember that, right? He beat Juventus and Bayern.
No, he won 4 Europa Leagues. He did that 3-peat with Sevilla, right?
Yeah, and then he won the Europa League with Villarreal, and then he got to the semifinals of the Champions League next season. So he beat Juventus and Bayern during that run. So don't sleep on Aston Villa because Unai Emery in European games, he could really do something, even in a way like he knows how to manage European games, I think.
Yeah. So and shout out to the Aston Villa. Fantastic win for them. 40 years. I mean, this is the last time they played Champions League was 40 years ago. So this is actually pretty.
God, that's crazy. Really?
Yeah.
People actually don't know this. Aston Villa are actually former European champions. They actually have a Champions League. Not many know this. And
also, I know it's Young Boys and everything. Young Boys have been in the Champions League before in
they're a mainstays. I mean, we've seen young boys beat high-class teams before in the champ. They've been Man United before. They've been Juventus before. They're not like some, away in Switzerland. They've actually done some damage before. So credits to Aston Villa.
Yeah, for me, like I think this is a statement win. This is a statement win. Like maybe not a big statement win, but it's at least somewhat of a statement win.
I think Aston Villa at home will be very tough though, because I know Aston Villa.
Yeah, Villa Park, man. Villa Park's a fortress.
That like especially on the European nights, like I would be really like that can be scary for any team. Oh
yeah.
Oh,
moving over to that. Yes.
Here we go.
Yes, you're gonna love this, man. Love this.
God. I mean, this is just. And the thing is, I don't want to say too much because Derby's happening this weekend. I don't want to say too much, but I'll say this, right? When Pulisic scored, I was shocked when Milan led. But then I said this. I said this during the game. I said this before the game. Milan last season, for many years, have been awful in set pieces. They're one of the worst set piece teams in Serie A consistently every single season. And what happens? 2 set pieces, 2 goals conceded. And they got pressed hard. And by the way, Liverpool have won all of their last 4 Champions League visits at San Siro. So that's crazy a bit to think about. But like Liverpool were just absolutely flawless. Really, I mean, Milan were just awful. Obviously, there was that one call, controversial thing. But again, like I just think Liverpool should have won by more. Milan were awful this game. And they started well, but they just went to sleep. And honestly, overall, how they're playing, Fonseca, I'm not convinced. I wasn't convinced when they hired him, and I don't think he's that. I think that their team also, it's the problem, the midfield, Ruben Loftus-Cheek, I'm sorry, he's finished. And Yusuf Fofana is not a number 6. He's a box-to-box midfielder. So I don't know why he's being put there. Calabria is absolutely awful. Calabria is a garbage right back. I've always said this. And Mike Mignon, here's the thing with Mike Mignon, right? He's a great shot stopper, but he always gets injured every single season as a keeper. That's like he's never available. Like he always misses 1/3 of the season. I think at some point he's a good shot stopper, but I think at some point Milan got to look at that and like, okay, we can't just rely on him consistently every season. So I think, and now he's probably gonna miss the derby. So, there's that. It's not. Yeah. It's looking dark for Milan. It's looking really dark. Like I know I'm an Inter fan saying this, but it's even their fans. So it's like it's looking really, really dark for them right now. It's really looking.
It's really wild when I'm hearing that they rather have Pioli than Fonseca. That's actually crazy.
Yeah, I mean that's crazy. Like, it's insane. But like, look, I just think overall, let's be honest, Liverpool just completely dominated them, and
Liverpool.
It's just Milan are just awful so far. They're playing so bad this season. I know it's early in the season, but they're playing so bad. They're so open. I think it's looking really, really bad. And I think, especially if they lose the derby this weekend, then the pressure will get on Fonseca very, very quickly.
Now, I did hear that Milan might get Tuchel. Tuchel would. Do you think Tuchel can save this team, or
I think Tuchel fits Serie A a lot. I think Tuchel's football fits Serie A a lot. Like I see him in Serie A. Like I remember, I used to want him at Inter when Inzaghi was having like a very, very bad stretch. Like Inzaghi, we're gonna get to Inzaghi later, but like Tuchel, I think he fits Serie A. I think he would actually work with Milan. But I think even though you get Tuchel, you need this Milan squad needs work. It's not good. It's not a good.
It's too average.
And
I feel bad for my Captain America guy, Captain Christian Pulisic. I feel like he's the only positive for Milan this season.
Because Rafael Leao, I mean, he was honestly, the rating I think is a bit too harsh on him. 6.3. I think he was a bit better than that. But again, Rafael Leao, he's their superstar. You expect most from him. So, but there you go.
Yeah, definitely, man, definitely. Let me and for Liverpool, actually, I feel like people are sleeping on Liverpool this season in the Champions League. I know they weren't there last season, and I think this time around.
Here's the thing of Liverpool, right? I think we can't doubt that at Anfield in Europe they're going to be very, very good.
Oh yeah.
There's that one. We can't doubt that. It's just they're also very, very like they don't play as. Under Klopp, the thing with them under Klopp was it was so like high pressing, high attacking, high volume attacks. Like he was like you knew it was going to be a high scoring game with Liverpool and Klopp. But like under Arne Slot, I think they're a bit more rigid. they're a bit more, they're a bit more focused on, okay, you know what, let's just keep our shape, let's not, like, there is high pressing involved, but it's not like as big as Jurgen Klopp's. Now, I'm not saying Arne Slot is an upgrade on Jurgen Klopp. I'm not saying that, of course, no.
That'd be crazy to say.
That would be crazy to say, and that's what I'm saying. I'm just saying that Liverpool as a style, like, this is still Klopp's team. Let's be honest. The only difference is they got Federico Chiesa. That's like the only difference. It's just, so I think that Liverpool, they're not someone to sleep on. They could do damage to a lot of teams. And again, like, I think they could do well, but we got to see, right? We got to see.
Yeah. Yeah, fair enough, man. And for Milan, man, let's just I mean, because I kind of like Milan. I always have a small soft spot for them. And actually, I want to ask you this question, dude, before we move to the next question, before we move to the next game. Which decline's been worse, Milan or Manchester United?
Manchester United have been in a decline longer, so I think.
Yeah. And for me, I said that's why I also said United, because at least Milan were on leagues out recently. Unlike
Milan,
United,
they made a Champions League semifinal, like Milan, or And the thing is, Milan will consistently make top 4 in Serie A. So, again, United, Milan's decline, it's not so much of a decline. It's just they did not build off of their thing. It's just that's hot ever since. United have been in decline since 2013. So it's completely different.
Yeah. Milan have been in Man United declines worse. Anybody that actually says Milan's worse, you're just stupid. I'm sorry.
Nah, that's just being revisionist. That's just revisionism history. Like, no, like I hate Milan, but that's just stupid. Like, no.
Yeah. All right, let's move, man. Let's move to the next game. Next game we got here. Next week game we got here. It is we got a stat padding session.
Oh my god, dude! When it was 8-2, they were like Barca fans were just going off the line because the flashbacks are there. This is become 9-2. The thing is, right here, what's funny about this is like I saw 3-2 and I was like, ooh, okay, 3-2, maybe this could be, and then 4-2. Okay, it's the end. I honestly, how do you even analyze this game? I don't think you can even analyze this game. It's just. Well, I mean,
it's basically a stat padding session. That's basically all there is.
It's just one of those games, right? It's just one of those games. We're just, I'll say this though. I'm still not fully convinced by Company. Like, I'm still like, I get that they scored a lot, but like, let's be absolutely honest now. Dinamo Zagreb are not the best team around. I know they're a big team from Croatia, but come on, like. But 9-2 is crazy. 9-2 is insane.
You know what's crazy, guys? Bayern have set the record. No team has ever scored 9 goals. They're the first team to do so.
Crazy, yeah. I mean,
and Dinamo Zagreb were a good team, guys. They usually make the Champions League. So people are saying that it's only happened.
This was I don't even know. Like, I feel like they just
people are saying that it's only happened because of the new format. No, Dinamo Zagreb regularly qualified for the Champions League. You guys need to fact check yourself. These guys regularly qualify for the Champions League.
Yeah, it's just the thing is, this game, it was just a complete massacre. It was a complete. Like, I don't even know. I don't know how. I don't. The thing with Dinamo Zagreb is I feel like this is probably going to kill their kind of confidence for the rest of the Champions League campaign.
Yeah.
If you're losing in 9-2, I'm sorry, but.
Yeah. I mean, Bayern look amazing, man. I still have question marks about their defense. Bayern defense is still very sketchy.
Yeah, I just still think overall, like, I just think the Company. I'm not saying he's a bad coach. It's just, relegating Burnley and all. I get that he didn't have a great team. But
it's too big of a jump.
Yeah, it's big of a jump. But hey, we don't know. No. Like, we don't know. Maybe they go back. Maybe they retain. Maybe they get Bundesliga back. I don't know what they're going to do. But as a Champions League, I know some people are saying, does this make Bayern like one of the favorites for the Champions League? Here's the thing.
No.
Like, Bayern Munich in Champions League, like Bayern Munich will always be like in the shouts.
Oh yeah, they're always fair.
But I'll be honest, I don't think this game should suddenly like put them in the category of like one of the teams to win the Champions League. Like, I don't think so. Like, I think a better team probably can do something against Bayern. No disrespect to Dinamo Zagreb, but yeah, I mean, the level is just, the gap between both teams was enormous.
Yeah, for sure, man, for sure. And yeah, like I said, and also hopefully the Neuer injury isn't too long, because I'm sorry, Ulrich is a trash goalkeeper. I don't rate the guy because he made those 2 goals were terrible goals to concede. And there was actually a moment in the game where Dinamo Zagreb could actually came back. I was like, oh my jeez, no way. Bayern, you better not do this. And then Bayern said, you know what? We're just going to score the rest. Like I said, Bayern's one of those teams that lay no mercy. Like, this is a team that...
That's the thing. That's the German... I think that's German football as a whole. German teams, like, especially Bayern Munich, it's like, they're just... German teams always do this. Like, it's... I always think, though, this might sound weird, but I think in a way it's kind of showing respect if we do that, because they're basically... They're kind of treating you like as a threat. That's why they're trying to score more and more and more so that you don't have any chance of coming back.
I respected that. I respect it. You know, people are saying that, oh, this is bad and everything. No, you need to show them a lesson. Show them that you really are bad. You know?
Yeah.
Like, it's your fault.
Like, at the end of the day, there's no emotions in football. Like, at the end of the day, there's no emotions when it comes to it. It's just how it is.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Right. Oh, this game.
I want to say this is the most misleading. I watched this game. This is the most misleading scoreline ever. If you look at the scoreline, do not look at the scoreline before. First, watch the game. I'll say this, right? I would argue Stuttgart should have got a draw in this game. I would argue they should have got a point. Like, I don't like it. I don't know. Like, I've been like. I still think Real Madrid can compete for the champion. It's like we talk about Bayern Munich being Bayern Munich. That's why, well, Real Madrid pretty much fits that bill even more. Like, they're Real Madrid, right? So in the Champions League, you're never gonna like. I think Real Madrid is. I think they're. I don't know, but I want to first say this, right? I think Stuttgart. They're not like that team you just sleep on. You know, they came second last season in Bundesliga. Obviously, Bayern collapsed, but still, Stuttgart, they can be they're a well-coached team. I don't know too much about them. I've seen them play some games. I think they were actually fine in this game. I think they actually played well in this game. Ultimately, though, if you don't take chances against Real Madrid, they're going to kill you. How many times do we say this, right? If you don't take chances against them, they will punish you for it. And that's just what happened.
Yeah, and Real Madrid is a team, like I said, they have the strongest winning team. Like, they're a team that will punish you. There's no other team I'll punish.
They're a team that they can suffer, they can play bad, but they're gonna pull a win out of it simply because that's kind of what they do. It's instilled into them. I don't think at this point it's luck or anything. It's just how it is. Like, they're gonna, if you don't score against them, if you don't punish them, they will punish you. It's just how it is.
I mean, if, as good as Stuttgart were, I do feel like they tailed off the second half. They weren't as good as.
I do think so. Yeah. I think that second half. I'm talking about first half. Like, first half.
Oh, yeah, first half.
Like, the first half, I think they were the better team. They probably should have led. But they didn't. But here's the thing. Then Real Madrid scored quickly. But the thing is, Real Madrid scored quickly. And then the weird thing is, Real Madrid actually were getting chances after they went 1-0 up. Then Stuttgart scored out of nowhere, I would argue. But then they had a chance to make it 2-1. Like, Stuttgart had a chance later on. But I think as a whole, but obviously Real Madrid then scored late and then made it 3-1. But again, like, it was not a convincing Real Madrid performance. Stuttgart, I think they're going to be a difficult team to beat if they play like this. They can be a very, very difficult team to beat, especially at their home. So, maybe, do you think Stuttgart can qualify? I'm not saying they're going to get top 8, but do you think they can make the playoffs and qualify for the round of 16, or does it depend on the draw?
I mean, that's potentially, but like I said, it's only one game.
It's only
that's hard to say. They're definitely not going to be bums. They're definitely going to get more. They're not going to finish with 0 points. I'm almost positive of that.
Yeah.
I'm not sure, man. I have to look at the schedule because, to be honest with you, it's really with the new format.
But I think what Real Madrid is like, I don't know, like, you're playing like this against Real Madrid, so I don't know, but yeah, man.
Because do you remember? Do you remember a few seasons ago, Doodle? Remember Sheriff beat Real Madrid at the Bernabeu?
Oh yeah. That's true. That's true. I remember. I actually was scared. Like, after that game, I was actually scared. Oh my God, they're gonna beat us, aren't they? But no.
Yeah, and then so it might be one of those things where maybe
this is the thing. I have this theory that sometimes teams do this well against Real Madrid simply because it's Real Madrid, so they have the extra oomph, like that extra motivation to play against them. But when they're playing against other teams, how many times do we see this, right? So I don't know. I don't know. But this, obviously, the Stuttgart team is way better than that Sheriff team was. So.
Oh yeah, for sure. And the Stuttgart, man, we got to talk about this, man. The goals he conceded were stupid errors. That first goal, I think, came from the middle slot. The left back, he's a promising left back. Might be one of the best maybe one of the best up and coming left backs. That was a bad mistake, and Mbappe
Yeah,
capitalized.
again, that's the thing though. Like, if you don't score on Real Madrid, they will punish you. It will always happen, home or away. They will do it. They will do it. They're gonna do it. That's just how it is, and it always is. So, and not even just one. Like, you're probably gonna go score 2, 3 just to like keep them away, because there's always the chance of them just coming back, and they just punish them. This is like, you don't know them, so that's just unfortunately Stuttgart came under that. Like, that was just unfortunately how it ended up.
Yeah, and also in the new ball, man. I mean, those two mistakes. I mean, obviously both those goals are bad goals. You can see the second and third.
Yeah, I mean, goalkeeping, not great.
Yeah.
Speaking of goalkeepers, though, it seems like the ACL injury didn't affect Courtois at all. Because
Courtois is still amazing, man. Courtois, I'm going to say this right here, guys. Courtois is the best goalkeeper in the world.
Yes, he's the best shot stopper, 100%, right? He has to be the best shot stopper, at least. Like, he's the best goalkeeper in the world, and it's not even like, I don't think it's in a debate. I don't care like what people say.
Yeah, bro. Anyone that debates says you're just stupid. I'm saying this right now. Anyways, get the likes up, guys. We're at 8 likes. Let's try to get to 10 likes, guys. Really, we should be trying to reach 20, but let's at least try to reach 10. So get those likes up, man. Like the stream if you haven't already done so. So let's go ahead and move to the next game we got here. It is Sporting 2, Lille 0. Sporting, man. Actually, I do want to talk about Real Madrid real quick. The Endrick goal, man. Can't believe Endrick scored in his first Champions League game. That's crazy.
Yeah,
and obviously,
I was actually surprised that when he didn't pass that though. If he didn't pass, awkward.
Yeah.
That would have been awkward. But if he didn't score that goal, but
yeah. The Sporting versus Lille, man. Lille went down.
Here's the thing with Sporting, right? I actually said this. Like, I think Sporting are one of those teams where if you're playing against them at their home, they have always a chance to get points off you, because I think they're a great home team. Like I think obviously it's just Lille. I get that it's just Lille, but I think Sporting can be dangerous when you're playing against them in Lisbon. Like, I think they're not a team to sleep on. I don't think they're a team to sleep on. I think they're a very well organized team. It seems, and like they have some like. Look, Gyökeres, I rate that guy. I really rate him because he's not like, you think of Gyökeres is like, he's not like a poacher. He's not like, he's actually a good playmaking striker. He can hold the ball, he can dribble, he can pass, he can playmake, and he can obviously finish. So he's a very, very unique kind of striker. You know, he's kind of like
that goal he scored.
Like, you know, I think I see a bit of a Harry Kane in him, right? I don't think he's as good as Harry Kane, but you know, I kind of see that kind of a player, that kind of like a Harry Kane, kind of a Benzema kind of a player in him.
Yeah, Gyökeres was amazing. He's definitely up there as one of the most informed strikers in the world. I don't think he is the best.
No. But I just think like as his playing style kind of reminds me of like a Harry Kane.
Oh, yeah.
Like I think the way he just drops and everything.
Yeah, and Leo, man. I mean, I think the red card pretty much screwed them over. Once they went down to 10 men, you just think it was pretty much over.
They just never
really challenge
time. Like even before the red card, they were just getting outplayed. Like even before the red card, it was just. That being said, though, they did have that late chance. They did have that late chance later on. I remember that.
Yeah.
But it was just not much. Not really. Like Sporting outplayed them. And that goal by the center back. That I forgot.
Yeah, that was a great goal.
That was a great goal. Yeah, the boss. Like, that was a great goal. Yeah, I mean, so yeah, I think Sporting. Not much else to say. I think they're. This is the thing. As I said before, for these kind of teams, the home games matter. You got to pick up as many points at home as possible, then maybe get some points away to at least make it to like the first 24. So like at least make the playoffs. And I think Sporting did that. So yeah, not really much else to say.
All right, let's go look at you guys' comments. I'm gonna be able to go through all your guys' comments because there's a lot of comments to go through. So let me read some of your guys. I'll just look at some of the notable comments. Stuttgart beat Dortmund 3 times last. He also beat Bayern 2. Dang.
They also tied Leverkusen, right? Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, Stuttgart's a good team, guys. They're an underrated team. And I believe the last time they were in the Champions League was like, I think 2014, I think I read. It was crazy. It was a long time ago. So, wow, that's impressive. Yeah. Endrick goes a wordly. Stuttgart didn't take their chances. All right. How did Kane score 3 penalties? Never says both these goals. Barca fans see this 8-2. Bayern Munich set a record. All right. Liao fell off. Yeah. Stuttgart surgery counts as Sal. Vinny is better than Liao. I mean, this is obvious.
That's obvious.
Yeah. All right. So, yeah. All right. Let's go. Let's move to the next one. Next game. Let's move to that Wednesday game.
I'll say this. Obviously, I'm Ukrainian, so I'm going to comment on. I have good knowledge of both teams. Shakhtar should have scored that penalty. Sudakov should have scored it. That would have been an important point, but obviously, yeah, should have scored that penalty. Big chance. Bologna, unfortunately, I'm sorry. I think everyone expected them to get worse this season, and they will. They still haven't won a game in Serie A. They had that late chance. Yeah, but here's the thing I'm going to say about Bologna: just enjoy the Champions League. They're not. Last season's like, I'm sorry, but it was never going to repeat. It's done. It's what it is. Like, they lost Motta, they lost Xerxes, they lost Calafiori. Yeah, I mean, not really much else to say. They're not that, like, they're not that same team anymore. They have a different manager. Italiano, I'm not the biggest fan of him. Yeah, and they probably should have lost this game because, like, again, if Shakhtar scored that penalty, I mean, they lose at home against Shakhtar, and like Shakhtar obviously are, not a team to sleep on. They've been in Champions League for so long, and they're one of those teams. Like, but yeah, Bologna had many chances also, but like they're not clinical, and I just think that. Yeah, I just think Bologna as a whole, like, it's just last season's fairy tale, it just happened, and I think this season it's just gonna be back to default. That's just how it's gonna be. Not really much else to say, but overall, not the best game. Like, not the best game to watch.
Yeah. See, I understand what you mean. Like, Bologna also, I mean, it's a tough one because I feel like Bologna could have won this game, but they also could have lost. Obviously that penalty. But they also had a lot of chances to score. Like, Shakhtar didn't really offer much, honestly. They didn't.
Yeah. But that penalty, I mean, it's sort of yeah. Like, that's the thing, right? So, obviously, you can see that Bologna technically dominated the game. They could have lost the game, so that's the thing, right? Yeah. At the end of the day, it's 0-0, and they didn't take their chances. They probably could have lost if Shakhtar scored a penalty. So, it goes both ways, really.
Yeah, I think both goalkeepers came up clutch for their respective teams, basically.
Yeah.
So, basically. And the Spar Pro 3, Salzburg 0. The Spar Pro, man, they're underrated team, guys. Underrated team. I rate this.
They're underrated team. Honestly, this one was. I was like, I'll be honest. I didn't really see this game. I can't really comment much about this game, but Salzburg. I'm pretty sure they lost their league last season.
Yeah, they lost the league.
So I think that clearly that kind of shows that there's a bit of a decline potentially. They're just not as dominant maybe anymore. But like, Salzburg are another team that have been in the Champions League for so long, right? They're one of the mainstays in the Champions League. But I think that, unfortunately, Sparta Prague, they dominated them and they won. They were just much better than them, and they outclassed Salzburg. That's kind of how it was in the end.
Yeah, that's true. And I remember that this team was good last season in the Europa League. I remember this team gave good games. Like, I remember I think they beat Real Betis. I believe they also managed to beat Galatasaray, and that was the same Galatasaray that beat United last season. So, in the Champions League, they absolutely destroyed them in the second leg. And then I know they got destroyed by Liverpool, but besides that, Liverpool won. They did fairly well in the Champions League. Europa League. And remember, guys, this is the same team that won their the what's the thing, the league again? Czech League.
The Czech League, right?
So,
yeah.
So they're Czech champions.
Yeah, again, honestly, I think they outclassed Salzburg, and I think that ultimately that was what it was. They just outclassed them, and they won.
And also, it's the crazy stat, guys. The last time Spar Pro, I think, we're in the Champions League was like, I wanted to say 2005, 2006. I think last.
Wow, so many like old teams coming back like after so long. It's kind of crazy.
Yeah. And Salzburg are a Champions League mainstay. They usually are in the Champions League. They usually win the league.
Yeah, so it's kind of surprising, really. But yeah.
Yeah. Shout out to Spar Pro. They might be. I think this team could. And look, wow, the possession stats are very misleading. Wow.
Who cares about possession? Like 3 goals, and that's all we gotta see.
Oh yeah. Possession. That's what I say. It's not possession, guys. It's what you do with the possession that matters.
Yeah, who cares? Like, I can take, like, if you have 10% of the ball, and my opponent is 90%, but I win the game. Who cares? Like, do you think I care about possession? No, I care about winning. So
yeah.
Oh my God.
Celtic, guys, Celtic have finally won a Champions League opening game. And I believe it's the first time Celtic have won a game for so long. I don't remember the last time.
Yeah, finally. Holy. The thing is, what surprises me is because, like, Celtic at Celtic Park are actually not an easy team. Like, Celtic at Celtic Park, they can get points, but they've never been able to, like, win for some reason, but they finally did it, right? And they finally were able to do it. So there's that. They broke their curse, and who knows what's gonna happen? Obviously, it's Slovan Bratislava, so can't really read too much into it. But hey, like Celtic, they could potentially. We'll see just how it is. But yes, Celtic at home, we all know like they can be a good. But like they finally won it. They finally won a Champions League match. So congrats to
it's
them.
history in the making. And Celtic, man, they're a good team, man. They have doable fixtures, guys. They have a doable fixture. I don't know if you guys saw my predictions, but I don't want to spoil if you haven't seen. But I think Celtic will do well.
Yeah, as for Slovan Bratislava, I'm sorry, but I have these guys finishing. I'm sorry. I don't want to sound rude, but I just think their team.
Okay, how many points? Surely they don't get 0 points.
I think I see them getting 0 points. I'm sorry. I don't want to sound rude, but like I don't know. Like maybe they get 1 point, maybe they get something. I don't know. Like I feel like they're just gonna get battered a lot, though. I feel like.
And also, by the way, fun fact for you guys: this is Slovan Bratislav's first time ever in the Champions League.
Well, that probably shows, right? Because Celtic, Celtic are also like another one of those mainstays in the Champions League, right? You know, we see them a lot in the Champions League. We see them regularly. So.
And you know what the weird thing is, guys? This is a team that played Conference League. I think they were there in the last 3 Conference League editions, and now they made Champions League all of a sudden. Like Conference League to Champions League, that huge gap. But the only other team that I think is like that is Villa, basically. So like that's crazy. Like, Slovan Bratislava is a good team, guys. I remember they did well in the Conference League. I still can't get rid of the fact what they did against Basel, but I'm gonna put that to the side. But I'm still salty about that, by the way. But Celtic, Slovan Bratislava, man. It's a decent effort, but yeah, and they're Slovakian. They're a Slovakian team. So
yeah, so I think unfortunately they're just gonna enjoy this Champions League. You know, they're in there for the first time, so just enjoy it.
Celtic, man. Let's see, man. Let's see. Maybe Celtic could actually advance to the playoffs, guys. It would be a big statement. Next up is Club Brugge 0, Dortmund 3. This score is kind of misleading as well because I feel like Dortmund were kind of poor the first half. But at the same time, it was kind of an even game, but I felt like Club Brugge were slightly better. But as the game went on,
at the same, but then Dortmund woke up late on, and it was permanent. After that. After the first goal went in.
Yeah, it was over.
Yeah, it was over. Yeah.
Basically, the substitution saved the day. Basically,
Jamie Giddens, came on, made impact, pretty much won them the game. Dortmund's team. Here's the thing with Dortmund, right? Dortmund's team it's all right. Look, I don't have Dortmund going back to the Champions League final. I just want to make that clear. I don't think that's going to happen again. Like, I think that was just when it happened last
season. That'd be a miracle.
Yeah,
that'd be a miracle.
But I do think they can qualify for the round of 16, whether that's with playoffs or whether that's top 8. Like, they have a chance. They're a good look. Dortmund are always a team, you don't want to sleep on them because they're Dortmund, but at the same time, I want to say it's like the thing is I say that, but then again, it's Dortmund, so you never know them, right? You don't know what kind of Dortmund you're gonna get. But look, and the thing with Club Brugge is they're also like one of those teams, you see a lot. Maybe not as much as Celtic or those Salzburg, those kind of things, but you see them decently a lot in the Champions League. So kind of surprising that, but 3-0 at home, not a great look at all.
Yeah, Club Brugge, man, they should have buried the chance they had in the first half, and maybe it could have been a different game. But yeah, it is what it is. But at least they're back to the Champions League because I remember last season. That season they were so bad, and then went to the Conference League. Oh, that's also another team I just realized. They came for the Conference League, the Champions League. So
I mean, there you go.
Yeah. So okay, shout out to Club Brugge, man. Shout out to Dortmund. Anyways, moving to the next game right here.
Here we go.
This game, man.
Man, oh my god, like when we were doing it, I was like watching this game along with other Inter fans. I'm gonna say I have some things to say about this game because it's my team, right? So I'm gonna say a bit briefly about my team. Look, I had a feeling before the game that we were gonna not lose this game. I had a feeling we weren't gonna win. I just thought we were gonna draw this game. And look, I'm sorry, but like I'm very, very proud of how. Look, Inter, I think we were just, we defended very, very well. Like, I get that XG, and here's this thing. I know I'm an Inter fan, but I'm going to say this. The XG is a bit misleading. Simply because, yes, Man City, I think, overall did create more clear-cut chances. But here's the thing: it's Man City at the Etihad, and Inter went to the Etihad to at least get a point, and we defended so well. We frustrated Man City, and people forget this. Like Lautaro Martinez didn't even start this game. DiMarco was out for this game. He was like he's injured. So, and Carlos Augusto, I think, was actually all right in this game. Like, I think he was all okay in this game, but I just think Inter as a whole, like my thoughts is that I think we defended very, very well. We were Barella was amazing in this game. Sommer made many saves. Zielinski made his first start and proved that probably he should be starting, because like the way like there was a moment during the game when like City were in our box and he won the ball back and he got past 3 people before getting fouled. Those are kind of like the moments. Like Mkhitaryan is just too slow for that. And Mkhitaryan later had that Darmian when he made that back pass. I don't know why he did that. Like he should have just gone for a goal. Maybe we could have scored there. And Mkhitaryan, he had a good chance. Probably should have hit the target at least. But yeah, overall, like from Man City's point of view, I think they obviously got frustrated very, very clearly. Haaland, I think we're kind of entering that moment, uncomfortable conversations about if he actually a big game player, because Inter defended so well. They were able to shut Man City out, and at the end of the day, that's just how it like. And look, it was away at the Etihad, and we got a point. We got a point. It was our first game, and yeah, Darmian should have shot. I agree, he should have shot. I don't know why he made that back pass, but. Look, I think overall, like Inter, I think if we had DiMarco, I think we would have been faster in our transition. But I think overall we were fine. Like I think overall we played well. Like I think it was fine enough that we got a draw. We got a deserved draw. I think.
Yeah. Like the thing is, like Inzaghi's a really good coach, and I've been hearing people saying that if he has better players, then maybe Inter could be like.
Look, if Inzaghi has a bigger budget, I think he would be very, very like he would like. Look, I think
he's one of the best coaches in Europe. He's one of the best coaches in Europe.
Look, I'm seeing some of these ratings. Like Bastoni 6.5. That's just harsh. Bastoni was great in this game. Like
Bastoni was amazing.
And like we defended so well. Like Bisek starting shocked me a lot, but he actually was fine. He was fine. Look,
Turbin was amazing.
Yeah, look, Barella was great. Barella was really, really good. He won the man of the match. I think overall, look, we went there to at least get a point. We hope that, okay, you know what? It's Man City at the Etihad. The thing is, the Monza game previously, before this game, like, it was we rotated because we got this game and then Milan next. We rotated, didn't play well, got a draw, unfortunately. We nearly lost that game. Didn't play well at all. But Inter, I think, this game proved that we can compete with these kind of teams. We can compete with these kind of like big teams, even at their stadium. Like I think we could have even scored this game. I think Man City obviously also could have scored. Like it goes both ways. I just think overall, we were good. We were overall fine. Like we did our thing. Like we did our thing, and we got the points. And Inzaghi's tactics worked. And yeah. It was a well-deserved point away in Manchester, I think.
Yeah, and I just feel like for me, man, Inter's a really good team. I rate Inter highly. They have one of the best. This might come as a shock to you guys, but I think they have the best defense in Europe.
Maybe like we're one of them both. I think we're one of the best, most well-coached teams. I think
well-coached teams, yes.
Inzaghi, I think, has made us difficult. Like, I'm not trying to boast or anything, but I think in terms of like tactically speaking, but also like overall, I think Inzaghi has made Inter a difficult team for any team to play against. Like, I don't think you want to play against Inter, like especially at San Siro, like especially at our state at San Siro. Inter, like they can be a very, very difficult team to play against. Like we can shut teams out, especially if you can shut Man City out, that means you can probably shut everyone else out.
And remember, this game was almost like the carbon copy of the Champions League final.
Yeah. The only difference is this time they didn't score. That's really
that's pretty much.
And this time the difference is we didn't have as many crazy chances like that because in that final. Yeah. So, but tactically, it was a very, very tactical. Look, some people would call me biased. Some people would say this is a boring game. I think this was actually one of the better 0-0 games.
This was a good game.
Yeah, it's like. Yeah, that's the thing. Both teams had chances. Like both teams, again, Man City obviously could say had better chances, but against Man City at the Etihad, what do you expect to happen? Like, right?
Yeah.
But we
also,
sustained the pressure, and like we're the only second team to actually go to to not concede against Man City in 2024. Arsenal did it last season, we didn't do, and this time we also managed to hold on. So, yeah.
And also, let's be real. Man City, in my opinion, is one of the best teams in the world. So for any team to do this, because they're really good at Etihad. Man City is really good at Etihad. This is where
especially
they're
at home. Like they're so good at home.
Yeah.
I'll say though, their atmosphere is pretty bad. Their atmosphere is really bad. Like
that's
Inter fans, all you could hear were the 1,200 Inter fans of the stadium. But look, Man City are very, very good at home because they're able to control games at home better, and they have such a good team. That's what we like.
Yeah.
Look,
I want to ask you this question.
We went there and we kept a clean sheet.
I want to ask you this question, Doodle. I want to show you. I want to ask you this question because I heard people say the only guys letting Inzaghi down is the players themselves. Do you agree with that? Because Thuram didn't have a good game.
I mean, I don't know. Like, look, Thuram, like, yeah, that's the thing. Here's the thing of Inter. Like, it's been our problem in European matches, especially for like every last few years in this league. Our strikers, we just sometimes don't like, our attack does not turn up in these big games at times. Like, whether that's just missing crazy chances or what, like they just don't, and that's the problem. Like Inzaghi gets them to do it, like all their attackers, like they need to do their job, right? Pep Guardiola has this quote that his job is to make sure the ball gets to the attackers, gets higher up. But now it's the attackers' job to finish those chances. That's kind of how it is with Inter, and we gotta be much more aggressive when it comes to scoring, especially these European games. Like that cost us against Atletico Madrid last season. That cost us the Champions League final. That has been costing us for so long. Like that's the thing, right? Like overall, but look, I think Man City will obviously make top 8. Like obviously, let's be honest, they might even get first or second. I think Inter can as well. I predicted Inter to make top 8. I think we can, especially like with a point again at the Etihad. I think we got a chance. I think we will be able to.
Yeah. And like I said, man, Inter is a team to look out for, guys. I think it's this team. And the last thing we'll say before we move to the next game is Holland, man. We have to have this combo, man. You're so amazing in the Premier League, and then when it comes to Champions League, man, especially in big games, you have been very underwhelmed. Very underwhelmed.
Yeah, like, and look, then the thing I think is like it kind of exposes weaknesses. Like, I feel like in Premier League he gets a lot of space to operate with. That's why he's able to finish. We all know he's a good finisher. Against Inter, you're not gonna get much space, so you gotta if you get chances, you gotta make the best of them. He didn't.
Yeah. Now I still think he's a good striker. I still think he's one
a
of the
good
best
striker. No, don't get me wrong. And if he played in Serie A, he would still be a great striker. Don't get me wrong. Like, don't think he could not. But he can cook. But these kind of games, when you see your opponents just being able to close you down, yeah. I mean, especially like Francesco Acerbi. I mean, he's not the best center back out there, is he? So he's solid. Like he's solid, but. Look, I think Inter overall, I mean, we were just set up in a way that is basically meant to frustrate opponents until they break and then we could take our chances as possible. So, look, Lautaro, he didn't start this game. He wasn't feeling too well. But to be honest, Lautaro this season so far hasn't, he's kind of on a goal drought. So, kind of worrying. Like, I think he will score eventually. But, like, yeah, I mean, look, I think Inter haven't started the season too well, to be fair. But, look, I think it will get better. I still think we're the favorites for Serie A, and I think we can go far in the Champions League. Hopefully, we'll see. But I think this game proves that we can compete with these kind of teams. We're not like way below them.
Oh yeah, for sure. And people need to respect Serie A, man, because I saw a lot of people say, man, so we'll destroy Inter. This will be a 4-0. This will be a 5-0. These Prem merchants, man, respect other leagues. Respect other leagues, man. Prem merchants. Call you guys out. Anyways, moving on to the next game. We got here. It is PSG 1, Girona 0.
Oh my god. Nah, if that happened to Inter, like the way Girona conceded that, nah, dude, no. Oh my god, what is that?
Now let's be real. PSG winning is it's just the manner in which they won. Like only 1-0 is crazy.
And only 1-0. Like, that was like. you can't concede like that. Like that was just so bad. Like also Girona, I think, let's be honest. I mean, I think last season's just like Bologna, I think that like just like Bologna, the fairy tale of last season, I think it's done. Like, right? They're not gonna do it again. I don't think so. I think that was just crazy, but I think it's pretty much over. And I think I think they're just Girona. I think they're just not great now. Like I just think that they made it Champions League for the first time in their history, but I think PSG should have won this game by way more. They did win it, but like the way they won it, like that's gonna hurt Girona. I feel like that's gonna hurt them a lot.
I like how it says here, it's a short time other body parts.
Yeah, like
yeah, man. I mean, it's crazy, man. It's crazy. But yeah, I mean, the Girona, man, like I said, they were awful. They were basically playing for a draw. I mean, you can't blame them, to be fair. This is the first time ever in the history they played Champions League.
Yeah, they're just way too inexperienced, and like to lose like that though, that must hurt. That must really, really hurt.
Yeah, and actually, I want to ask you this question, Doodle. Is Dembele now the face of PSG?
Oh my god. Nah, I rate Barcola. Nah, I think Barcola is. I rate Barcola. I think Barcola is better. Look, I'm sorry, Dembele. I'm never gonna rate Dembele. I'm sorry. I just do not rate him. I don't think he's a good I don't think he's a good player. I'm sorry. I don't think he's a good player. I think he's way too wasteful. He's injury prone. He's way too wasteful. His decision making is still awful. He's not a great player. Like, let's call it spade to spade. Like, we're obviously gonna get to Barcelona eventually, but let's call it spade to spade. Yamal is a better player than Dembele. I don't care what people tell me. I don't care if there's any PSG fan in this. Dembele is not a great player. I'm gonna say right now. Barcola is a good player. I rate Barcola a lot. Vitinha is also a good player. Fabian Ruiz. I mean, he had good Euros. Maybe he's gonna be like, look. I just think, this PSG side. Look, Hakimi, he was at Inter, so I still miss Hakimi a lot. But like, look, the thing with PSG is that I think that PSG, they don't look as threatening anymore. Like, I think their team overall is just, especially with Mbappe, their team is just. I'm not like it doesn't scare me. Like I can see Inter go to the Parc des Princes and probably get a win. Like I can see it. Like they're just not that scared. But Barcola's a good player. I rate Barcola.
Yeah,
Dembele is not a good. Like, I'm sorry, Dembele is an average footballer. I will always say he's not good. He's not good. I'm sorry, he's not good.
Dembele, I'm sorry, man. Dembele for me is too wasteful. He's too wasteful. And if you want to be one of the best wingers in the world, you can't be this wasteful. You can't be this wasteful in front of goal. Yeah. Because I'll tell you what, this Dembele actually has good speed. And that's not bad.
Yeah, but like then his finishing and his final third decision making, it's not good. And if you want to be if you want to be known as one of the best wingers in the world, I'm sorry, but you gotta know how to put the ball in the back of the net, and you gotta know how to actually great decision making. You gotta be a good playmaker. You gotta have that in your locker room. And if you don't, then I'm sorry, I can't call you one of the best wingers in the world. I'm sorry, I can't.
And shout out to Pacheco. Pacheco's a good center back. I saw this guy in Copa America. He was probably Ecuador's best player. He was amazing, bro.
Nuno Mendes is also PSG. I think they have some good players, but again, it's not like a PSG side that strikes fear.
I think what they're really lacking is that striker. They haven't replaced.
Yeah, they like Asensio. I'm sorry, but we're not in 2018 anymore, right? We're not in 2018 anymore. Like Barca legend Dembele, is he? Oh my god. He's not, especially after last season. Especially after what happened last season. But,
yeah. Barca legend. Well, actually, to be fair, Neymar also.
I'll say Randall Colomwani. I'm sorry, that guy. How is he a footballer? How is he even a footballer? I don't know. That guy. I'm gonna say the only thing I can remember of that guy is that save that Emi Martinez made on him.
To be fair, he had one good season of Frankfurt. I'll give you that.
But ever since he went to PSG. Yeah.
So. Yeah. Anyways, let's move to the next one, man. Shout out to PSG, man. And Girona, man, I feel so bad for you guys. You guys almost got a good result. Moving to Thursday game.
PSV. Well, they're Dutch friends here. Well, look, I actually thought this was going to be a close game. Right? It wasn't. Bayer Leverkusen dominated. Just complete domination. Insane, right? I mean, wow.
Yeah. See, at least with PSV, you guys were away from home, so I'll give you some slack.
Yeah.
Final, you guys were at home.
I
I'm
thought this was gonna be a balanced game. I thought this could even be a draw. Like, I'm not gonna look, Bayer Leverkusen, I want to say this, right? I don't think they're gonna be the same team as they were last season. It's not sustainable, right? Let's be honest. Let's call it they're not gonna go unbeaten again. They already lost the game. They're not gonna be that kind of a team again. Now, can they win Bundesliga again? Maybe. Maybe they can. Maybe they can. I'm not saying they can't. They can, but they're not gonna be like that same team again. But here's the thing. Let's be absolutely honest, right? Let's be absolutely honest about something. Feyenoord losing 4-0 at home. I'm sorry, that's a disgrace. That is disgraceful. You can't this is probably the most disgraceful result of this whole thing, of this week. This is shame. This is shame. This is worse than shame. You can't do that. You can't do that.
Oh, by the way, the Dinamo Zagreb coach got sacked after the game. I'm wondering.
I forgot about. Aside from that game, but the thing is, even then, at least you can say that's Bayern Munich away, right?
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, but this is worse. I think I would argue this is even worse. I would argue somehow.
Yeah, honestly, the final coach who gets. I mean, I know he just came in, to replace Arne Slot.
I think at this was no.
This might be a sackable offense, bro. I know he just came in, but you at least have to be on thin ice. Let's put it this way.
Yeah, but I'm sorry. I thought this was going to be a closer match. I thought this was
and so many. Yeah, Zurich making the error, then the goalkeeper making error, own goal as well. Only made one save. I mean, bro. This is just sad. 3.1 rating.
To get this keeper out and instantly send him out right now. What? Awful. Overall, look, Bayer Leverkusen. Here's the thing, right? They're gonna be a tricky team. I think they can even make Champions League round 16. I think they can. I think they're a good team still. People are forgetting. I think they're a good team still, and we gotta see just how it is. But look, I'm sorry, but Feyenoord, disgraceful, right? This is a disgraceful result, and I don't know what they're gonna do now.
Yeah. Oh yeah, definitely, man, definitely. Then obviously, Boniface, that second goal, that was really good for really good skill there from Boniface, and yeah, for Leverkusen, man, I'm like I said, guys, Leverkusen will be definitely an interesting team to look out for.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna be interested. And obviously, Feyenoord did lose to Weifer, who's probably one of their best players. I believe he went to Brighton, but still, like I said, man, just losing one player shouldn't you can't be telling me that one player comes in and makes you guys don't lose as badly. That's the case, and that just shows how bad your team is.
Yeah.
So yeah, Feyenoord, man, absolute disgrace, and yeah, the Dutch team's got disgraced this round. So Benfica, man, Benfica finally wins, and they got a good win in Serbia, man.
This is actually a difficult game, by the way. This is a difficult stadium to go to, away in Serbia. Against Crvena Zvezda, they're Red Star Belgrade. They can be difficult, but look. I think Benfica, they got their win. Look, it was not a pretty win. It was not an easy win. It was not a clean win, but it's a win. At the end of the day,
win is a win.
It's a win. It's a win. Look, I think Red Star could have been unlucky. I feel like they could have got a draw. I think they had the chances, but look, at some point, no, this is the win. Benfica got a win, but it's not a pretty win, but it's a win. It's an away win. Can't really ask for much else, right? It's just win.
Yeah. Let me just say this for now. I'm still going to rate Benfica. I still can't believe I picked them to win the Portuguese league because I'll be surprised they did. It's going to probably be Sporting. And Benfica is looking still average. I mean, look at this, what they did in the second. Actually, no, the stats are a bit outdated. This is a bit wrong here, but still, Benfica, for me, they're not the same as they used to be a few years ago. Rather than when they made the quarterfinals.
They sacked their coach, right? They sacked him, right?
Yeah. Let me check. Have they sacked their coach? Roger Schmidt, is he still the coach?
Yeah.
Yep, they have. Bruno Large is the new coach. So, yeah.
Look, the Benfica team. Look, the thing is this: I don't think on paper they're a bad team. But they're not as good as before. But I just think overall, structurally and everything, they're just not. Yeah.
Yeah, they're just
a lot. I rate Ruben a lot, though. I hope he's. But I think Benfica. Look, again, as I said, it's not a great win. It's not wow. But it's a win. It's away in Serbia in a difficult stadium with a great atmosphere. They got a win. At the end of the day, that's what counts. That's what counts at the end of the day.
Yeah.
And by the way, Red Star, they're actually a mainstay in Champions League. We've seen them a lot of times in Champions League as well before. So
Yeah, they usually. Yeah.
but yeah,
All
not
right,
much
let's move
else
to
to
the next
say
one.
really. It's a smash and grab win.
Yeah, Atalanta 0, Arsenal 0. Wow.
Wow.
Man, you must be happy for Atalanta.
Talk about boring though. Talk about boring. Extremely boring. Look, I want to say this though, right? Here's the thing of like, and I think this is a bit of a reality check for Arsenal. Just because you're great in the Premier League, that does not always translate to the Champions League. We said this so many times, like other way around as well, by the way. Other way around as well. Like we don't know, but like, look, I think Arsenal, and look, obviously the penalty, Retegui, he could have won them. He could have won Atalanta the game. Retegui, he could have won it for them. But like overall, look, it was a pretty boring game. But Retegui should have scored. Like if it's a penalty, you got to score the penalty, right? You got to score it, and he didn't, and that cost Atalanta. And I wonder if that's going to cost them overall.
Yeah, and people need to respect Atalanta, man. They have a European heritage. You know, actually, it's crazy, guys. I cannot believe I'm saying this, but Atalanta have more European heritage than Arsenal.
Crazy. They actually won, and they got the European heritage not even a long time ago. Like actually, like 5 months ago.
So, yeah, Arsenal, man, you have to respect European heritage. I'm sorry, man. Arsenal.
And that's the thing with Arsenal in the Champions League, right? You know, they don't have those minerals. They don't have that in them. And I just wonder how much, like, look, I think this was a difficult game, though. I think, look, Atalanta, they're a very, very well organized. And the thing about Atalanta is they haven't been the best this season performances-wise. There are some big questions. Like, Inter beat them 4-0. I remember that. Like, but they're a team that can frustrate teams. And, look, you can't just sleep on them. And I'm sorry, but Arsenal today, they got a bit lucky they didn't lose because, like, Retegui had a chance with a penalty and he missed it. So if he scored a penalty, you know, wow. I'm sorry, Gabriel Martinelli. I'm sorry, right? That guy, how is he like? Someone check his passport, please. There's no way he's Brazilian. Like, someone please check his passport. Someone check his passport. He's not, like, is he actually, like, he's not great. He's not great at all.
Yeah, you know what's actually crazy? We were actually talking about this yesterday on the watch along. I said that, you know, Arsenal should sign Rodrigo. I think Rodrigo would be amazing. He would be amazing for Arsenal. I think I'll be the best for Rodrigo.
Yeah, I think that would be great for him. But like, look, I think overall Arsenal. But I think the problem with Arsenal is, I'm sorry, but Kai Havertz in midfield. I'm sorry, that guy cannot play. Like, put him up top. Or put him as he's not a midfielder.
You know what Arsenal's biggest issue is, and I said this before. I'm going to say this again. Is the attack? I'm sorry, that attack is mediocre. It's not that good.
Yeah. Look.
Like besides Saka is a very good player. I rate Saka very highly. You can't expect Saka to always do this. And this is also another thing on Arteta. Why haven't you got a replacement for Saka?
That's another thing. Like Gabriel Jesus, I'm sorry, he's not a great striker, right? He's not a good striker.
Yeah, he's not a good striker. Martinelli, not good enough. And people say, what about Trossard? I rate Trossard, but
I feel like Trossard is better off the bench. Like, I feel like when he started,
yeah, he's a better super sub. I don't think he's that good as a starter.
Look, Thomas Partey, not the best game. Like, again, Kai Havertz in the midfield, he had nothing. Declan Rice is a good player. Declan Rice is fine. But,
Declan Rice is good. I rate Declan Rice. And I think
the thing is, but this is why. Like, I know people have been saying, like, should Declan Rice actually play as an 8? Should they play in that Xhaka position that they have? Like, you know, that, like, I'm sorry. I think Declan Rice should be a number 6. And I think Arsenal, another Odegaard is injured, but I think they need another midfielder. Like they need. Look, I'm sorry, but Mikel Merino, I'm not the biggest you watch La Liga a bit more than me, so I don't know. You probably know.
Yeah.
I'm not the biggest rater of him from the scene. Like, I just think Arsenal don't have I think they need another creative midfielder that can help break down these kind of defenses because Atalanta is not like the best defensive team ever. I'm not saying they are. Like they're actually that defense they have is actually pretty breakable. It's not the best, but the system. I'm sorry, but Arsenal were just not able to break them down, and I think they lack that midfielder. I don't think Declan Rice is that kind of a midfielder. I don't think he is.
Yeah, you know, Arsenal defense is really strong. They have a good defense. I rate their defense highly. It's just the goals is the hard thing for Arsenal.
And that's why I don't think they're gonna win the league because of that. Still, they don't have that they don't have that striker. They don't have that finish.
Yeah. And I'm sorry, Jesus, man. I heard him say like he's not good at scoring goals.
How do you say that as a striker? How do you say that as a striker? Like what?
Like that's crazy, man. That's crazy. And then for Atalanta, man, Lookman, man, I think he's the best player. Would you agree with that?
Lookman, yeah. I would say so. I rate Lookman a lot. It's kind of funny how Said Palaza actually got a good rating against Arsenal. It's a bit funny. Look, Ruggeri's a good player. Ruggeri's all right. Ederson is a fine midfielder. Karnaseki, like De Roon. I'm not the biggest rate of De Roon, but like, I think overall, though, I think
he's serviceable.
No, I think makes sense. Again, Retegui, if Retegui scores that penalty, then it's a completely we're talking differently, right? If Retegui, because I don't think Arsenal were great in this game. I don't think they were great in this game, and I'm not saying Atalanta like completely outplayed them, but they had the better chance to win. They're home, and they had that penalty, which Raya's great. Raya's a good keeper. I rate Raya.
Yeah. By the way, Lookman's the only African player to what is it called? Be on the Ballon d'Or shortlist. So
crazy.
Ahead of Osimhen, ahead of Salah, like that's pretty impressive.
Crazy.
Yeah, impressive for Lookman, man. He has to win African Player of the Year. If he doesn't, it'll be a disgrace.
Yeah. Okay.
So let's move to the next game. Next game we got here is Atletico Madrid 2, RB Leipzig 1. Atletico Madrid, man. Griezmann comes up clutch. Guys, Griezmann is one of the best players in the world. I know it's like
oh my god! Like, this game is like again, not the best Atletico Madrid performance, but they got that win late on, right? And this is the thing about Atletico Madrid; they're so good at home. They're such a good team at home. Eventually, that helps them so much. It's their away games, like in away games.
It's so crazy. They're so. It's like they're like prime Barcelona at home. It's like they're like I don't know.
Incredible team at home, but then they go with away games. It's like they forget how to play. Like I don't know, but like, look, I think overall, yeah. I mean, look, RB Leipzig. I think Leipzig as a whole, they gave a good account. I think they did their best, but I think Atletico in the end were the better team. And
they just Atletico is going to score. I mean, look at how many shots Atletico had. 21 shots, 3 times.
Atletico Madrid having that many shots is crazy. Not gonna Atletico Madrid. We all Simeone's Atletico Madrid.
That's insane, man. And Griezmann, man, do we have to do you think Griezmann's underappreciated in the world?
Yeah, I think so, especially because like after that Barcelona move, like I feel like some people are sleeping on Griezmann. Like he revived his career. I will say he was bad in the Euros. I will say that he was pretty bad in the Euros, though.
I mean, to be fair, the whole France team was a disgrace, so I'm not gonna even put that really on him. But
But yeah, like look, Griezmann's a good player, right?
Griezmann's amazing.
He's clutch.
DePaul was great. Llorente, like Griezmann is amazing for Atletico Madrid. The guy is like unbelievable, man. I think we have to have a combo about Griezmann, dude. The guy is like I think 33 years old.
He's 33, and he's a lot of people don't even know that Griezmann's been around for so long. It's crazy.
Yeah. So Griezmann, man, fantastic player. And for Leipzig, man, they were pretty much defending for their lives. They were trying everything they could to defend for their lives, pretty much.
Yeah, but it didn't happen. So that's how it is, really.
So, yeah.
But this is not a loss that's gonna like eliminate Leipzig, right?
Yeah. Even though they do have a hard fixture list, if I remember correctly.
Yeah.
So, yeah. All right, and then moving on, we got Stade Brest, and then we're gonna talk about my team for last. I guess that's probably the best way to do it.
Yeah. So not much to look. Brest for the first time ever in the Champions League. I'm pretty sure got a win.
Not just the Champions League, first time ever in a European competition.
Wow. Ooh. But yeah,
it's also crazy.
They got a win though. They have a win in their first ever win.
And it's also crazy. This isn't even their home stadium. Their home stadium isn't even UEFA's not even allowing them to play at home, so they're playing at a stadium. I don't exactly remember, but I just remember the commentator saying that from Paramount.
Well, let me go see right now. Let me Google it right now.
Yeah, like they're not even playing at home. Like this isn't even their home stadium. It's just UEFA's not allowing them.
Stadium, huh? Let's see. What stadium is this? Oh God, they're playing for Guingamp. like in Gangnam Stadium. I don't know how to say it. Like, yeah, they're playing in a stadium of a team that is in the second division of French football.
Wow. Like, this is crazy.
How does that make sense? Wait, how does that make sense? So like a stadium in second division is applicable for UEFA, but a stadium that is in first division is, how does that make sense? Okay.
I mean, this is crazy. I mean, I don't even think many people even know about this. Like, Stade Brest, man, shout out to them, man.
I kind of wish that they were able to. It reminds me of Union Berlin last season. Remember, Union Berlin could not play in their.
They weren't able to play at home.
Yeah. But look, technically, like, it's home in quotation marks, but look, the first ever European match they win. I get that it is obviously, Sturm Graz, with all due respect. But look, at some point, this is still a historic win. Like, even if they like lose every single game after them, this is still like, a historic win for them. This is still historic.
This is amazing. Like, that Magnetti, that was a fantastic goal there. And guys, this is Sturm Graz, no joke of a team, guys. This is a team that won the Austrian league over Salzburg. Yeah. So like, let's not act like this is.
I mean, look, and Sturm Graz goes on own goals. So Brest, and obviously they got red card. But red card was pretty much when the game was over. So look. I mean, overall, I think. Yeah, I mean, I think Brest, I mean, all I can say is congratulations. Their first ever European match, and they won. So,
amazing, it's incredible, man. I still can't believe they barely survived relegation and made champions. Like, in fact, I look back at my predictions video last season. I predicted them to finish dead last, I think, in the league.
And they came third. Oh, God. But look, credits to them, and they won their first game. So, there. I think overall, at this point, I think whatever happens from it is just house money from then on. Like, whatever happens, whatever. Like,
they already incredible, man.
They've already done what they need to do. Like, they already done.
It's history in the making. History in the making, man. Yeah, guys, calm down with the comments, guys. You guys are being very, you guys making the comments way too weird. So please stick on football. But yeah. Anyways, let's move to that next game, the final game we got here, man. Boy, Monaco 2, Barca 1. Let me start off with saying this right now. Barca were dreadful this game. They were absolutely dreadful.
Even if I'll say this, if the red card didn't happen, do you think Barcelona would still have lost?
That's the thing. Like, that's a very hypothetical question, because the thing is,
if you look at it, I get it, obviously, but if you look at the stats, I was actually watching this game, I think, but here's the thing, right? Here's the thing with Barcelona, right? This is kind of the thing. We said the same thing for PSG last season, right? It kind of is like, it goes that I'm sorry, like, look, Yamal, good goal. Yamal, but here's the thing, right? I'm sorry, but look, I actually thought this game Barca could draw points. I think Monaco are actually an underrated team. Like, I think they're an underrated.
They're underrated team.
They're an underrated team, and difficult game. But I'm sorry, and look, Barcelona have been in great form, obviously, start of the season. But I feel like in a way this game kind of like, it might be a reality check. I'm not trying to be disrespectful. I think this could be like a reality check. Okay, let's calm it down. Like, I think even over a red card though, only like not creating anything else, I feel like to get dominated, like, look, I've seen many times teams have red cards and they still have chances. Like, they still are able to like maintain solidity. I'm sorry, but I think Barcelona, this game, were very, very poor. Although, again, the red card played a big part. I'm not saying it did not. It played a huge part. But I'm sorry. Like, I just think it was not great. I just think it was not great at all. I think it was pretty poor.
Yeah. Shout out to Monaco. And, it's actually, I know this might seem messed up to say, but I'm actually kind of glad that we kind of lost this game to give us a reality check. I had it because we're going to be playing 2 home games coming up as against Young Boys and Bayern Munich.
Oh, the Bayern Munich.
Like,
oh, God.
Yeah. Okay. And so I feel like for Barca, I'm not saying I'm happy we lost. Obviously, I don't want to say that. That's obviously stupid to say. But in a way, we needed this. And it also shows that this Barca team isn't all that amazing, because people are saying, look what we've done so far in La Liga. We've destroyed Girona, destroyed Real.
Yeah, but again, as I've always said, this is a different kind of a game.
Yeah, bro, like the league and Champions
League. I'll say though, Eric Garcia, how is that guy still at Barcelona? How is he still at Barcelona? Like that, I thought that was still like 2 years.
Guys, check on my tweets. I was saying there is like, I was happy for him, wasn't sorry, but I was worried about Garcia as a DM, because I'm sorry, Garcia doesn't work as a DM. And I know people are going to blame Ter Stegen and Garcia, because both of them are at fault. Garcia and Ter Stegen, both of them messed up.
Ter Stegen, I think that the second goal, got to do better. I think he has to do better on that second goal. I think that was like he got a contact on it and he didn't save it. I don't know. Look, overall, I think Monaco, this is a big win for Monaco because now, like, obviously, like, it's a big win for them because now Monaco, look, I think Monaco are a team that, look, they're going to be pretty difficult to be like, I know that many times PSG had some problems with them. Like, Monaco are not an easy team to play against. Like, Inter play them. I'm pretty sure we play them at home, if I remember. I think it's like final match day at home. Oh, yeah. But look, Monaco, they can be a difficult team to play against. And yeah, I mean, look, I think that, look, Lamine Yamal scored a good goal. I want to say, though, look, I get that it was probably not the strongest Barcelona lineup, but I'm sorry, but like the performance overall, I think it's a bit of a reality check. Like, obviously, I'm not saying it's a complete disaster, but it was not a good performance at all. I think it just shows that, this Barcelona team, there's still some problems that need to be
You know what? You know what the sad thing is? Like, let's be real. Monaco is better than all those La Liga teams we played against. It's better than Valencia. It's better than Real Valladolid. It's better than Girona. This Monaco team is way better. And this is a Monaco team that finished second at Ligue 1.
Yeah.
Second Ligue 1.
Yeah.
And you know what the crazy thing is? That first goal, that was an amazing goal there from the Monaco, the goal scorer.
Yeah.
Amazing goal scorer there. And then obviously,
I think overall, this is a very, very underrated team. Like, people actually not realizing this team has talent. This team could cause you problems if you're not careful with them. I just think overall, obviously, it's Barcelona. Like, I just think Barcelona. I'm gonna say though, Lewandowski was kind of poor this game. Although he didn't get too much service, I'll say. Look, I don't think Pedri was good at this game. I don't think he was. Like, Rafinha was not the best. Look, I think overall,
the only good Barca player was Yamal. And maybe Ter Stegen to some extent because, he didn't make a lot of saves, but at the end of the day, he still costed us that goal. You still should have made that.
Ter Stegen, though, here's the thing with Ter Stegen. I feel like this guy in the Champions League, you're never going to, like, fully trust him. Like, I feel like, he makes those saves, but then there's times when, like, I don't know, like, he's that, I don't know, like, and the thing is, like, I just think, look, I think, obviously, like, I still have Barcelona probably making top 8. Like, I still have that, but.
Oh, it better make top 8. That'll be disgraceful.
Yeah, I mean, at least make it around a 16. But here's the thing with Barcelona, right? Look, I think this is a game which now that probably brings Barcelona back down to earth. Like, I think this is a game where now we're like, okay, let's calm it down a bit. Like, let's chill a bit. Like, it's still like, look, Yamal is. But here's the thing. I feel like, do you think Barcelona are becoming a bit over reliant on Lamine Yamal? Like, do you think?
I was gonna actually bring that up. Actually, guys, the sad thing is, our best player at Barcelona is a 17-year-old. I don't want to hear anyone else say Araujo or Rafinha. Yamal's the best player. Yamal is single-handedly our best player. That's actually a disgrace for one of the biggest clubs in the world. That's actually disgraceful. How can the best player be 17 years old? Is crazy. I know people are gonna say, what about Messi? If that.
But the Messi here, what people do not forget is Messi wasn't like the best player that got from the get-go, right? Messi, he was brought, like, Ronaldinho was still, the main man at Barcelona back then. He was bringing and there were still, like, other players. Like, people talk about, like, 2006 Champions League. Like, look, Messi obviously was injured, but, like, Messi wasn't, like, the starter back then. Like, it was still, like, Barcelona were, like, he was just being brought up. But he was, like, Barcelona were, like, still, different kind of, like, that was still Ronaldinho's team. Ronaldinho was the one who was, like, Yamal does not have that. Does not have, like, he just came into this last season. He popped off. Then he went to the Euros. He was one of the best players there. Like, and, like, he returned again. He's, like, but again, like, relying on a 17-year-old as your best player. I'm sorry, but that is, like, that basically says that the management haven't been able to, like, surround him with the necessary talent and, like, the necessary, like senior players got to take responsibility. Like Lewandowski, for example, like Rafinha, for example, like Araujo, like Ter Stegen, like I would even go as far and say even Pedri. Like I would even say it's Pedri, and I think these players, like, they should be stepping up a bit more, like, because I feel like whenever I watch Barcelona games, it's always get the ball to Lamine Yamal. Make sure, hopefully, Lamine Yamal puts in a good cross. Hopefully, maybe Lamine Yamal can score a goal. Hopefully, Yamal, you're putting way too much pressure on a 17-year-old to always deliver. It's just, and he's going to get overplayed. And we all know the story of Barcelona overplaying their youngsters. We all know how that ends. I think, like, Yamal is obviously a central player. He should be a central player. But I feel like he shouldn't be the one that should be, like, I feel like Lewandowski and these kind of players, they should be the ones that are, like, the the complete difference makers. I feel like they gotta like take that pressure off of Yamal. Yamal is just one of the players that is like growing, developing. He should not be Barcelona's main man like already. Like
and that's crazy, man. That's crazy. That's what I'm saying. It's disgraceful. It's disgraceful. Like one of the biggest clubs in the world shouldn't be relying on 7-year-old like this. And I know Yamal is special. I know he's really talented, everything, but still, it shouldn't be like this. He can't be your best player at Barcelona.
Yeah,
like that's crazy.
I think overall tactics, in terms of tactics, look, I think you can probably say them. Look, Flick, I think, I don't know, what can you say? Like, again, the red card obviously made a lot of difference, but I just think Barca as a whole, I mean, probably are a bit lucky this only in a 2-1. Like, this probably could have been worse.
And actually, I want to talk about the second goal. That second goal from Monaco, and that was a great goal. And you know what the crazy thing is? That's the same goal score from last season that scored for Antwerp against us.
Wow, that's kind of crazy. That's kind of funny.
Yeah. And then they also had a potential penalty. They had a penalty shot. I want to know, do you actually think that should have been a penalty? Because honestly, that should have been a penalty, in my opinion.
I think that should have been a penalty. I would see so. I can see like what some people like. If that was like, I remember, like, yeah. I think it could have been a penalty. And look, Flick's first loss is a Barca loss. Barca loss. We'll see. But look, Barcelona still should qualify. They should still, but this is definitely a game where it's like, I feel like this is a game where you think like, okay, maybe Barcelona still has a lot. Like, it's an eye opener, right? It's a reality check. That's kind of how it is. So we'll have to see just how it goes. But yeah, I mean, overall, but Monaco, I think they're not going to be an easy team for anyone. I think they're a tough team.
And shout out to Balogun. Balogun made a huge impact coming off the bench. I thought he was fantastic. I know he didn't score or anything, but dude, this Lincoln
probably should have had a penalty, right? He was the one that was brought down.
And you know, that's my striker, man. At least he didn't score. That would be really awkward. That would have been very awkward.
Yeah, but
that would have been very awkward.
I want to say also like, I mean, but the thing is though, also like I look at Barca's bench right now. I'm looking like at Barca's bench, like in the substitute. Look, I'm sorry, but wow. Ouch. Those injuries and everything. Oof.
Yeah, Barca, man. Like I said, man. And I think
the squad depth is a bit bad. I want to say like Barca's squad depth is a bit shallow. I feel like the transfer window, I feel like you should have done way more. The transfer window. Like, I think this.
Yeah, and Yamal, and also another thing, I just want to say something about Yamal before we go to the comments. The fact that you were having to rely on Yamal, like he's almost playing every minute of every game is crazy. We got to sum him out. Like, why you should have been taken off at halftime against what's it called, Girona and Real Valladolid. Like,
yeah, like when you're like Real Valladolid, like Barca were winning, like I don't know, like they won 7-0 or I know they were winning like by big score at halftime. Take Yamal out at that point. Like if the game is done, like no need to just keep it going, like for no reason.
Yeah, Barca, man, you guys need to up it up. And shout out to Vanderson. Vanderson was amazing. He got 2 assists in the day, 2 assists as a left back. I thought it was amazing. Maybe Brazil should call him up as their left back because
maybe because we see Brazil's fullback situation. I mean, Yeah, but I think overall Barcelona, I mean, obviously not much. And I think overall, as we wrap it up, I think that overall it was a interesting. Like I don't think there were like too many shocks. Like I don't think there was like really any shocks. Maybe this counts as a shock. I don't know. Maybe. I just think that overall, maybe this counts as a shock. This result, maybe it's an upset. I don't know, but like I think overall, I think overall we just gotta see just how this whole Champions League unfolds, and you just gotta see more because like it's just one match day. One can't make too many judgments of it, but yeah, I mean we gotta just see how everything transpires.
All right, so last thing I want you guys to do, we'll stick around for another 5 minutes. I want you guys to let me know in the chat, guys. What's been the best team in the Champions League so far to you guys? Like which team has won? Which team has had the best match day one and do a worse match day one? I'll start off first. I think the best match day one team. I would say worse is. I would say worse is probably a Feyenoord. I'd probably say worse is Feyenoord.
Yeah.
Best.
Best is a bit tough
go with
to
you.
See, right?
Yeah, it's a bit tough. It's a bit tough. So I want you guys to contribute in the chat. I'm going to read you guys' comments for this part in particular. I'm going to say I might go with Juventus.
Maybe Juventus, probably. Again, the thing is, like, look, if Inter won the game against Man City, then I think that would have been an instant run, right? But we didn't, so it's a draw. Even though I think Leverkusen is a good shot. Yeah. I actually think Leverkusen. Maybe Leverkusen.
Actually, you know what? Maybe Leverkusen. Yeah, actually, because to do that 4-0 away and Netherlands, because
and to be honest, doesn't make sense because like if we're saying final the worst, then I think Leverkusen the best kind of balances out.
Yeah. Actually, you know what? It's like that's actually a fair point. Yeah. I would actually agree. So let me read some of you guys' comments real quick. Go round up. So let me know in the chat, guys. Let me know in the chat. There's no point to do a poll because there's gonna be so many different options. And then the underdog that surprised me the most, I would say, was probably I think Celtic. I would probably say.
Yeah, Sporting also maybe. Maybe.
Yeah, Spar.
Well, I want to say though, in the worst one, I know we're putting Feyenoord. I would say the three worst were Feyenoord. I would say Milan is the second worst. I would say Milan is one of the shouts though. I feel like, but it's just controversial one. But
actually, you know what? Sebastian makes a good one. I forgot Dinamo Zagreb. It has to be.
Yeah. But I feel like those three. I feel like Milan, Feyenoord, and Dinamo Zagreb. I think. Yeah. I don't want to be too harsh on Slovan Bratislava. I don't want to be too harsh on them.
Maybe Slovan Bratislava because Celtic don't really win that many games in Champions League. Maybe I'll give them to, but I won't put like the bottom three. But like you can make your argument.
Yeah, I think Leverkusen as best probably makes sense because it's away from home. Juventus close second, I would say.
Yeah. So let me read some of you guys' comments. We're gonna read. I'm gonna read. I won't be able to read through all because the chat was pretty active, so won't be able to read. But let me just look at the notable ones. Yeah, so who thinks Sporting can qualify automatically to top 8? I think that's a bridge too far. I think that's unrealistic, but they could definitely make knockaround playoffs. I think they can finish the 16 to 24th, but top 8, I don't think it's realistic. Do you agree, Doodle?
Yeah. I think their schedule is a bit easy. I think they have a favorable schedule overall. Yeah, they do play at Arsenal and Man City, but they both play at home.
Yeah, that's true.
So I know someone says Sparta Prague has been the best team. Good shout. Sparta Prague is number one. Juventus again, another good shout. Yeah. From games I watch, I think it's Leverkusen. Leverkusen.
Yeah.
Liverpool's also Liverpool's actually a good shout as well. Milan and Barca's the worst. I feel like Barca's like again. We gotta see like if there was no red card, how I don't know how the game would have
went. We still were atrocious. We still were garbage.
True, but I think Feyenoord has to be shout. Milano's also very bad. I would agree. Yeah.
That's fair. Where's Dinamo Zagreb?
Underdog is Brest. I don't know how Brest are gonna.
Bayern say
what do you want? Bayern Munich, of course. Yeah, of course. Fair enough. Actually, yeah, probably have to be that. Leverkusen.
Best Leverkusen. Eddie, you already covered the Asian Champions League. Maybe we'll talk about that. Maybe I do look at it occasionally, but I'll be honest with you, I'm not very knowledgeable on that. So yeah. That's maybe I'll look at the end of the season. I'll look back at it, but yeah. I just don't have the time, man. Unfortunately, I think Sparta has already been best team. Lol. Thanks for subscribing, Shubham. Thank you for subscribing. I'm looking at an African. Let me go. Oh my geez, Penural's lead. Dude, I need to watch that game. I think it's a good time to round off. I think the first half is just ended, so I can watch the second half. So, anyways, hope you guys enjoyed today's stream. Please remember to like and subscribe. And then this weekend, guys, we have a lot of big games this weekend. The European recap stream this weekend is going to be fire.
I got my game. Oh my God!
I don't know how we got all the big games this weekend. We got like the Istanbul derby. We have the Super Classico. Then we have the Milan derby. The Man City Arsenal. I mean, we have so many big games on like this weekend. That's crazy. I don't know how it all panned out. But
yeah, I mean, crazy. It's crazy. Milan derby and Super Classico. Like, wow. Probably two of the biggest, like Boca Juniors, River Plate, and Milan Inter. Probably two of the biggest fixtures in football. Like, yeah, crazy.
Yeah, so we'll definitely talk about that in this weekend stream.
Yeah,
weekend stream, man. So join me for that Sunday. Sunday stream is going to be fire. Anyways, I think we're end the stream off here, guys. Hope you guys did enjoy today's stream. Please remember to like and subscribe. I put time to the description below for you guys. And we got around 1 hour and 30 minutes, which is okay. I suppose we didn't reach the 2 hour mark, which is great. So we didn't take as long. But yeah, like so, guys. Hope you guys did enjoy. You guys like and subscribe. And peace out.